My friends, welcome back to the channel. I am so happy to have you guys back with me today. We are taking a look at some shop shears, or shears in general. You have to have a good pair of shears. And then of course you have your electrician shears, which not only function as regular scissors, but can also cut cable. So I want to kind of look at specifically the Knipex Electrician Shears and kind of compare it to the Crescent Whisk lineup of shears. And then I want to kind of compare the electrician shears to the cable shears from Knipex to see if the electrician shears cut as good as the cable shears that you would get from Knipex. So maybe you can do away with this tool and pull a little double duty with this. So let's get into it. I do want to start off by saying the Crescent Whisk lineup of shears, they make some really good shears, and they make them at a really affordable price. As a matter of fact, I got both of these from Home Depot. You can get them, I believe, from Lowe's, and you can also get them from Amazon. So if we look at just the regular shears, they're really heavy duty for a regular shear, and they're extremely comfortable to use. They have this kind of rubber over mold inside of the handle, and then it has this little cutout where you can really comfortably place your thumb. I mean, your thumb always kind of curls out that way. So these are really comfortable scissors to use, and they have them with and without the titanium coating. The titanium coating is supposed to make them last longer and kind of like stick resistant. They have held up so far for me and have done a phenomenal job. And then of course they have their heavy duty shear. So this is a spring loaded shear, and if you look, there are serrations on the bottom blade. And these are the shears that are for heavy duty cutting, like cutting rubbers, plastics, thick cardboard, thick paper, a whole host of things. And what that perforated blade does is it helps grab whatever it is that you're cutting, and it really gets a hold of it. And these are not rated to cut steel or anything like that. And you can also see with these whisk scissors that the metal actually does extend through the handle. And it is the same thing with these. The metal does extend through the handle. I'm not sure if it wraps all the way through, but I haven't had any issue with the handle being flimsy or anything like that. And with these specifically, these are really heavy duty, but they are not good for cutting harder metals or even medium hard metals. If you're going to cut metal with this, you're going to cut softer like copper, lead, aluminum. You can get through very thin aluminum, very thin copper, and so forth. And of course, these do have the titanium coating as well. And I do want to mention that the Whisk line of shears, I think these were like 13, 14 bucks, and these were about $15. And here is the Knipex Electrician Shears. Now, basically what these are is kind of like a hybrid between a cable shear and your regular scissor. And I do want to point out that the Knipex, they do have that serration on the bottom blade, just like these do. And these will also cut some heavy duty material. Now, the handle, it only functions one way. So you can see it's not an ambidextrous handle. So you have your area where you're going to put your fingers, and then of course you have your designated thumb area. Now the handle for the Knipex Electrician Shears, they do have some other features. So if you'll notice on the top, there's this soft rubber overmold in this ribbing here. And then of course you have a pinky index where you can kind of rest your pinky on the bottom there to kind of get more purchase. This right here, what this is for is to grab with your palm. So if you're really trying to cut on something, this gives you kind of a good grip and a good place to put your palm to get more strength on your squeeze. Because oftentimes you can squeeze harder if you go away from the thumb and straight into your palm. And that's what that's for. It's kind of like a little palm swell. And then what you'll notice is on the opposite side, there's this other little rest right here. And what that is actually for is for your pinky as well. So that gives you kind of more dexterity if you are using the scissor without your thumb in the hole. So I really do appreciate the attention to detail that Knipex pays to their tools. Everything that they do with most of their tools, they do with the end user in mind and comfort. And you can really tell that, you know, they didn't just make a shear and just throw it out there. You know, they thought about all the different ways the end user would, you know, use a shear like this. It's a heavy duty shear. However, you do have the option to use these in a precision like way with the pinky rest and also the index finger rest, and still get that detail cut if you need it. And also, I do want to mention that the Knipex Electrician Shears, they do come with this little sheath, which I think is really cool because it protects the stainless steel scissors. And of course, the blades are stainless steel, and it has the HRC on here, which is 56. Which is pretty durable, but I do like that sheath. I mean, you can clip it onto your belt, or you can put it in your tool bag, and then you got your protective sheath where you don't have to worry about banging your blades or the tip of your blade up against something. All right, so let's use these scissors a little bit. So I will say this, I've had these and these for well over a year. These are my go-to everyday scissor, and these are probably the best scissors I've ever had, especially for cutting wrapping paper. They are so sharp, and even after over a year of extensive use, anytime you have some scissors that can just slide through paper without even cutting it, you have some really sharp scissors. You know those are sharp scissors. And obviously, they can cut more than just paper. Here's a little KC tool, cardboard, and they cut that just fine. I mean, really no problem. These have been freaking amazing scissors. If you're just looking for a regular shear to use around the house, an everyday shear, you really don't need to look further than this right here. For 13, 14 bucks, those are amazing. Now, when you start getting into thicker materials, so let's take a couple pieces of cardboard, double stacked here. But of course, they do have their limits. Let's put 4 together. I highly doubt we can do 4. Yeah, I mean, you can still cut, but obviously they have a limitation. That's where something like these are going to come into handy. Now this just chews right through it, no problem. These are freaking beastly. Let's check these out. Now, the Knipex, they have a much shorter blade, obviously, but they also do have that serration, like I said earlier, which really do help with grabbing material. And this is, of course, with fingers and thumb, and I am able to get through this paper, no problem. Obviously, from where the blade is not as long as this one, it does take a little longer to get through, but where you can really start getting some force with these is when you start using that with a palm swell there. And yeah, I mean, it just chews right through it. Let's try, my goodness, look at that there. That's a thick sandwich. All right, let's check these out. Oh yeah, cut right through it. All right, let's see if the Knipex can. I'm going to imagine I'm going to have to, I cut my fingernail there. Yep, so you can put your palm there and you can just get, yeah. That's thick, that's tough for any shear to do. All right, so we have a couple different types of wire here. So this is a wire from a heater. It's a heater cord, power cord, some coaxial cable, some 16-3 water resistant cable, and this stuff, that insulation is really thick with that water resistant stuff. And then we have some 4-gauge cable. So I want to compare the cable shears to the electrician shears, and I want to see which one of these, if these cut cable as well as these do. And I'm even going to throw these in there to see how well these cut cables. All right, so let's start with the crescent widths. Yeah, and that's a pretty clean cut there. Look at that. That is a pretty clean cut. That's not bad at all. So yeah, I mean, these are definitely viable to cut smaller stranded cable. All right, let's see our Knipex Electrician Shears, and you do have this nice little cutout there. Oh, it just snips right through. It's so easy. Oh man. Do you guys ever use a tool and it just works so well that it kind of just feels good? That's the feeling I just got there. Oh yeah. Oh, that's like butter. With some coax cable. I used to install a good bit of this stuff back in the day. All right, let's see if they did it. It wasn't real pleasant, but and it shot that other piece of cable across the freaking garage. All right. Oh, that's so smooth. My goodness. Look at that. How about a close-up? Oh man, yeah, that cuts great. I know this is going to cut good. I've tested these out before. And if you want to see the video on my review of these cable shears, I'll put a link in the upper right hand corner there. Oh, look at this. Oh, so smooth. Man, that's actually kind of fun to do. Let's check out this water resistant cable. All right, let's try the old crescents out here. It did it, but it ain't freaking. Yeah, it's definitely not something I'd probably want to use on a daily basis. All right, I'm going to use the little palm swell here. Oh my gosh, wow. I cannot believe it's that freaking easy. Wow. If you don't have these are pretty freaking rad to have. I think they run about 20-25 bucks. All right, let's check out the cable shears. I already know these are going to work good. Oh, would you looky there. So there's this little fiber optic. It's like these little pieces of fiber that are in this cable. These really have a tough time cutting through that. You really got to kind of make sure you push through. I mean, you can see. Now, watch this. When we cut with the scissors, they actually, I mean, mostly cut through that. And if, I mean, you really need to, you can just take the end of them, just snip it right off. I mean, it's a little rougher cutting it with the tip, but there, I mean, the electrician shears actually cut this little water resistant cable a little better because of those little fiber strands in there. All right, so here is some 4-gauge stranded. It's a pretty thick wire here. Let's see if we can cut it with the old crescents here. Oh no, yeah, there ain't no way. Oh, maybe there is a way. All right, let's check out the good old electrician shears and see how these do. I'm definitely gonna have to use the palm. Definitely much easier than the crescents, but it still takes a good little bit of force here to cut that. I mean, that's a thick cable. It does cut it. I mean, I wouldn't mind using these to cut this 4-gauge. It's really not that bad. I can guarantee you these are going to be the bee's knees. Look at this. Beep. That's so freaking easy. These cable shears are amazing. Look at that. I'm squeezing that like ultra slow. If you want me to do it fast, here we go. I mean, it's just so easy to cut cable with these shears. A little close up there, let you hear it. You hear it? I don't think I could do this with just the thumb and fingers. I definitely am going to have to use the palm for this, but there's a close-up. See how it just cuts right in there? Wow. Let's do that again. Yeah, definitely takes more force. Final thoughts on the electrician shears. They are certainly a viable option, but overall, it's a super versatile shear. You can cut cable, cardboard, you know, thin papers. For 20, 25 bucks, I would certainly recommend these. I think they're a great tool. However, when it comes to cutting cable, these cable shears, I mean, they reign supreme. But that's all I have for you guys today. Definitely want to thank you all for stopping by. And if you enjoyed the video and you enjoyed this kind of content, make sure you like and subscribe. Also, I will have affiliate links for Amazon and KC Tool down in the descriptions below. And I will see you all on the next time. Peace.